You know, I absolutely love a lot of the features that we've been seeing come out for the PlayStation 5 and even the Xbox Series X. I think there's a ton of cool stuff to be seen there, to be had there, and to play. At the same time, some of the stuff really piques my interest much more than others. And this particular instance, it looks like we're going to be seeing some incredible things from the PlayStation 5 per a leak. And man, I tell you what, sign me up for this, because this is right up my alley. I know it's not for everybody, but still, you know, it's just one of those things where maybe you don't think about it, but this would be actually a fun thing. And that's where I think Sony really kind of takes an idea and runs with it. I mean, if you think about this current generation, who would have thought we would have all loved the share feature for screenshots and videos, right? And now everybody's doing it. So, you know, they take something that you maybe don't think about, and then they make it mainstream, and everybody loves it. So I think that's where this is going to take off to as well. It's going to be the next big thing, and it looks like it's going to be PlayStation 5 only. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. Shout out to all the new subscribers, all the old subscribers, everyone in between. You guys are amazing, and if you really want to support my channel, a simple like is the best thing you can do for any content creator. It means the world to me. And if you guys really want to help me out, you know, you can become a member of the channel. At the very least, hit the bell so you're notified of the content as soon as it drops. I do daily content, fun stuff, crazy stuff. I always feel like it takes a very intelligent person to get some of my satire with my videos, some of the tongue-in-cheek nature of my videos, but thank you to the ones that do and that understand that it's all entertainment and humor, and I have such a good time with it. It's so much appreciated. So with that being said, I want to get into this because, again, we're getting all kinds of new features with the PlayStation 5, even the Xbox Series X, but this is a PlayStation 5 video specifically. You know, we're getting the DualSense controller. There's obviously going to be a lot of things. It's not a share button anymore. It's a create button, so you're going to be creating things. We've got the solid-state drive, virtually eliminating load times. I mean, have you ever thought something so possible? Like, I never would have thought that was possible in gaming, to completely eliminate load times and to make them, you know, there's such a burden in games. You know, you're playing a game, and, you know, next thing you know, you're loading up something, and it's terrible. You know, I hate it. It breaks the immersion. You know, it's one of the reasons why I avoid certain games. If the load times are too long, you know, you just don't want to go back into the game. It just gets annoying. So that problem is fixed. There's a lot of issues that are being fixed. It looks like, you know, Sony's got the right path for most of the stuff. The haptic feedback, the new triggers are going to feel absolutely amazing when you push them, and when you're playing a racing game or any kind of game. That level of immersion is like tenfold what we get now, you know. And now there's not going to be that break, like I said, with the loading screens and stuff like that. They're not going to have to hide it in elevators or anything like that, and that to me sounds very, very promising. But if you're like me and you maybe not the best at games, you know, this might be something that could really come of help to a lot of people. This PS5 patent looks to have leaked, and it's a mini demo, which, okay, I'll explain what this could do, okay? So obviously we're getting this new console. There's going to be a lot of things. The create button is going to be something pretty interesting. Sony and Microsoft are going to have some features that we don't know about yet. You know, obviously some situations have come up in the world this year that have prevented them from doing things the way that they normally would. This patent has come out, and honestly, you have to take some of these things with a grain of salt, but this one specifically sounds like it's definitely going to be used. This could point to a very interesting addition to the PlayStation 5. I, of course, will link this article in the description so you can check it out. Like I said, if you're new to my channel, I always link all the news features in the description. And I also, if it's an opinion-based thing, you don't need a link for anything with that, as it's opinion. If it's a rumor or a leak, mostly I'll try to link it if I can. If it's something that somebody told me in confidence, obviously I can't do that. So this popped up in Japan for a new create option, and hey, funny, Sony's got a create button. Interesting. I think so. It seems as if this create feature offers the ability to create quote-unquote mini demos of games for you to share with people. It's kind of unclear how this is going to be utilized, but most likely it will be something done as a demonstration to help players who are stuck somewhere in a video game, similar to a walkthrough in a video, and uploaded to the cloud. Unlike a video, it seems Sony aims for you to relive the moment that's uploaded in the unique gameplay segment, perhaps teaching you more directly how to clear a problem section, or perhaps it could be a contest of sorts. Since it seems clear times and stats could be part of it, you could see there's Japanese patents that you can click on as well if you want to check it out. And it looks like this is something that's really cool. Again, you want to kind of keep stuff with a grain of salt because there's patents all the time. Will that stuff actually be used or utilized? That's something that could be, we don't know for sure yet. But again, Sony seems to do a lot of these, and a lot of these things tend to leak. And I think that that's really, part of the game. You know what I mean? There's people literally that spend a lot of their time researching LinkedIn, for crying out loud, to see if new people have been hired at a studio or something along those lines. So, you got to keep that in mind. It's just one of those interesting things that people kind of don't think about, is there's literally, in today's day and age, it's hard to keep anything secret, because if you register a domain, that's public knowledge. You can't hide that. If you buy a studio, again, that's public knowledge. You can't hide that. When you have these patents, those things go public and you can't hide it. So same thing with, like, you're working on something and you have a LinkedIn profile. You can't really hide that, so people can just scour through these developers and go, oh, well, this developer joined this person. The funny thing is, when it comes to that, and I notice it mostly with Xbox fans, they're like, we got a Naughty Dog developer, right? Like, this stuff has gone on in the industry forever. Developers will finish up a project and go move on. It has nothing bad to say about the developer they left or the developer they joined. This is just what happens. They staff up for a new thing, and then once it's released, they let go of some staff. Like, that's how these things work. It doesn't mean that, one game's bad or they didn't enjoy their time at, say, Naughty Dog or something, and so they joined an Xbox studio. Like, people literally just started, like, basically stalking these LinkedIn profiles and bring up any time somebody leaves a PlayStation studio and goes to an Xbox studio. It's like the most ridiculous fanboy thing I've ever seen in my life, but it's kind of funny and makes for good entertainment, because then you get to see, like, I make a joke of it and say, oh, well, they hired a Naughty Dog's janitor or something, right? Like, it's this running joke that we have, and I find it to be quite hilarious, but, other people maybe not so much. But again, the PlayStation 5 in particular, I really love the features, assets that they've kind of pushed out. As a gamer, they kind of speak to me as a way that, maybe I haven't heard before from a console, especially from a new generation. I'm really very, very interested in seeing what they have to say, and I'm very interested in actually getting to be able to play this thing as soon as possible, and I know you guys are too. I know I haven't always been the biggest PlayStation supporter, and, that's on me. Like, sometimes you just kind of get lost in your fanboy ways or whatever, and I was such a big Xbox fanboy, and I honestly hope that Microsoft does do a good enough job and kind of fight back and do some of the things that I know that they're capable of, because I feel like, they're gonna have a good platform, but are they still that platform holder that, I grew with and that really kind of, loved, you know what I mean? Like, that's, I think, something that we're gonna have to wait and see. I really do hope that we get that, but at the end of the day, I'm kind of not holding my breath, for the simple fact that, I don't exactly trust Microsoft with what they've been doing lately, and we just kind of all want to see exactly what can happen with the future. We don't know, but at the same time, it's very interesting to find out, like, the different philosophies of these console makers, these companies, just to say the least. Now we're getting all these features and announcements coming from PlayStation, and Microsoft is like, we've got smart delivery, and, it's just like, that's so obvious, such an obvious thing. It's like Sony's been doing that since the PS4 Pro. You have a disc or a digital version of the game that got an upgrade, it upgrades it automatically for you, right? That's not like it doesn't need a name. You're getting your free upgrades, right? Like, from people who support it, third-party developers, first-party, whatever. Backwards compatibility. They've already said, hey, we're getting it. Like, so many people are, like, focused on the wrong things and all this. I just find it to be a little bit ironic and funny. But we do know that this is going to sound like a pretty interesting thing. I get stuck on games often. I think it would be pretty cool to be able to go out there and see something like this happen. I really would love to be able to see something like this in the future on all platforms, just be able to help, because I think it's inclusivity and things like that, because not everybody's the same skill level or whatever. A lot of times when I'm playing a single player game, I just want to see the story, kind of just interact with it. I'm not really trying to go out there and have a Gatorade next to me and a sweatband on. You get stuck sometimes or whatever, and so that could happen. I like the fact that you can just easily probably just look up clips on how to sort of traverse an area or something, and I really enjoy that fact, and I think that Sony's doing a really good job going out of their way, kind of being inclusive, and also putting in a lot of features that just a lot of people want to use, and it does sound almost too good to be true, but again, we keep seeing it. We'll have to wait and see how this one lines up and how it stacks up with Sony's previous announcements, but I can tell you what, man, I am very excited for it, and I can't wait to see that PlayStation 5. I'm also interested to see what Microsoft has up their sleeve, specifically for the Xbox Series X. You know, it's a beastly console, but it's going to need some beastly games and new AAA IP, in my opinion, for it to be anywhere near my place of game. So let me know what you guys think. I will link this. Check it out. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, happy, and healthy. Be good to each other. Rack 'em up and game on. Let me know what you think in the comments, too. Crapgamer, out.
Unscripted.